Welcome to TTV News with some latest events in the province. The audience on August 22nd, the inspection team led by Politburo member, Secretary of the Party Central Committee, and Chief Justice of the Supreme People's Court, Nguyễn Hòa Bình, has a meeting with TayNinhTV Provincial Party Standing Committee on implementing the resolution of the 13th Party Congress.
Working with the delegation were Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, member of the Party Central Committee, Secretary of the Party Committee, Chairman of the People's Council of TayNinhTV Province, and 3 Deputy Secretaries of the Provincial Party Committee. Mr. Nguyễn Hòa Bình clearly stated that the inspection is to assess the advantages, shortcomings, and limitations after more than 2 years of implementing the resolution of the 13th Party Congress and the 11th Provincial Party Congress, thereby proposing and recommending to the Politburo in effectively leading, directing, operating, and implementing the resolution in the remaining half of the term. At the meeting, Deputy Chief Justice of the Supreme People's Court, Nguyễn Văn Du, announced the Politburo's decision and plan on inspection for TayNinhTV Province. Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Phạm Hồng Thái, reported to the inspection team on the results of leading and directing the implementation of the 13th Party Congress resolution.
Ms. Nguyễn Thị Yến Mai, head of the Economic and Budget Board on August 22nd, have a meeting to verify the constant submits to the 5th sessions of the Provincial People's Council.
The 5th session of the Provincial People's Council, scheduled for August 24th, will consider promulgating the following resolutions. Resolution approving the adjustment of investment policy for the project on building training center for disease control. Resolution approving the adjustment of investment policy for the equipment investment project for 6 district health centers and 42 community health stations in TayNinhTV Province. Resolution on the assignment of the Development Investment Capital Plan from the central budget in 2022 to realize the National Target Program on Sustainable Poverty Reduction and the National Target Program on Socio-Economic Development of Ethnic Minority and Mountainous Regions. Resolution on the allocation of non-business capital from the state budget to implement the National Target Programs in 2022. Clarifying a number of issues related to the policy of building the Provincial Center for Disease Control, requested by the delegates. Deputy Director of the Department of Health, Đỗ Hồng Sơn, explained that the amount stated in the project is an estimate based on the reference unit price of the Ministry of Health and some other units. When the project is implemented, there will be strict bidding steps to get the best price plan, complying with the law and save the budget. After verification, the Economic and Budget Board agreed with the draft resolutions related to the health sector. Director of the Department of Planning and Investment, Trịnh Ngọc Phương, also gave some explanations and clarifications on the content of the 2 draft resolutions related to the Budget Capital Plan for the implementation of the National Target Programs. This draft resolution was also commented and agreed by the Economic and Budget Board. TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union has hosted the 8th Festival of Excellent Leaders of Ho Chi Minh Young Pioneer Organizations in the Southeast Cluster in 2022. The first activities of the 2-day festival officially took place right in the morning of August 22. The delegates visited the memorial area of Ho Chi Minh Revolutionary People's Youth Union, based in Tân Lập Commune, Tân Biên District. The delegates respectfully offered incense, flowers, and spent minutes of silence in memory of heroes and martyrs who had heroically sacrificed, in which many comrades have contributed in directing and guiding the youth movement, joining hands with the army and people of the whole country to defeat the invaders and reunify the country. On the same day, as part of the journey to the Red Address, the delegates visited, offered incense and flowers at the Memorial House of the Central Office for South Vietnam, visited and learned about the special national monument. The festival gathered more than 190 delegates who are excellent leaders of Ho Chi Minh Young Pioneer Organizations from provinces and cities in the Southeast cluster, including Tây Ninh, Đồng Nai, Bình Dương, Bình Phước, Bình Thuận, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, and Ho Chi Minh City.
Turn to other news, the audience. In recent years, TayNinh tourism industry has made remarkable breakthrough, not only related in the number of visitors and total revenues. In fact, the sector has also contributed to the provincial economy by providing jobs directly to local workers and people.
To increase the number of employees with stable jobs in the tourism sector, the plan number 1838, dated June 10, 2022 of the Provincial People's Committee, has set the target to create about 7,400 jobs related to the tourism industry by 2025. By 2030, the figure will increase to about 21,000 employees. Currently, from accommodation services to jobs such as hotel managers, receptionists, waiters, translator, chef, accountant, etc., to sanitation workers, those stepping bonsai trees, taking care of the garden, protecting the tourist area, or selling tickets, the tourism industry has created jobs for thousands of workers in the province. On the occasion of Vu Lan Festival, the Superior Nun Thích Nữ Diệu Nghĩa, head of the system of Padang Pagodas, on August 22nd, gave 200 gifts to families with difficult circumstances in Phan Commune of Dư Minh Châu District, Thanh Tân Commune, and the wards of Ninh Sơn and Ninh Hạnh of Tây Ninh City. The total value of the gifts is 138 million Vietnam dong, worth nearly 700,000 Vietnam dong each, including necessities and cash. This is one of the practical and meaningful activities to welcome Vu Lan Festival of monks, nuns, and Buddhists at Padang Pagodas, expressing the spirit of mutual solidarity, mutual love, contributing to supporting disadvantaged families to have more energy and confidence to continue working, producing, and stabilizing life.
According to statistics, since early 2022, functional forces have handled more than 300 overloaded vehicles. They have made great efforts with many practice measures, but overloaded vehicles are still nisking around, causing damage to traffic infrastructures and potentially dangerous traffic disorder.
The traffic police forces of the Ninh Provincial Police Department have discovered and handled many overloaded construction material trucks. Most recently, Trang Bang Traffic Police Station, under the Traffic Police Office of the Provincial Police Department, detected and arrested a number of vehicles overloaded with 100% to 150%. Through measurement, this vehicle violates more than 100% of the prescribed load. The owner asked us to carry a little more, so we did the same. Now that carrying the right load is not enough money to cover expenses. Overloading is unsafe, but we have no choice. Not doing so, we don't have enough money to cover the cost, while the selling price can't be increased. That's just a part of many reasons that the offending driver give, but it doesn't mention the danger waiting for the people and vehicles in traffic from overloaded vehicles. Although the fine can be up to tens of millions of Vietnam dong per vehicle, it's worth mentioning that instead of complying with the regulations, many bus operators and transport enterprises for profit still intentionally violate. Oversized truck isn't new, but it's always a hot story, because handling trucks on roads is only a partial solution. The most important thing is still the voluntary compliance with the regulations of the vehicle owners and drivers of cargo vehicles. In order to limit the deterioration of the road and the risk of causing traffic insecurity from overloaded vehicles, functional forces have been strengthening patrols and strictly handle them. Specifically, during the peak month, the Traffic Police Force recorded 61 cases of overloaded and oversized cargo trucks. Arbitrarily renovating the vehicle increased by 15 cases compared to before. After the peak month of focusing on strictly handling violations of overloading, the situation has changed markedly. Many businesses voluntarily comply by cutting down the increased height of the truck body and not overloading. Currently, the process of handling oversized and overloaded vehicles faces many difficulties because when the traffic police forces carry out patrolling, road watchers have notified overloaded and oversized vehicles not to travel that route. Even vehicles with signs of violation have managed to avoid handling by the traffic police forces. Based on the available list, we will continue to review and update the road watchers to invite them to commit as well as educate them not to assist vehicle owners dealing in infringing goods and overloaded cargo trucks. As for the vehicles that evade and stop when the inspection team appears, functional forces will also use measures and gather evidence to have strict sanctions against the vehicles to prevent them from causing danger to people and means of transport. During the peak period of controlling and handling violations, the traffic police force is always consistent with the spirit of no restricted areas, no exceptions, seriously giving penalties to any cases of overloading, safe increasing the height of the truck bodies, and scattering construction materials on road.
That's all for today TTV News. Thanks for watching and see you next time.